just coming up bright and early. B&E. So what are we looking for today? We're still looking for Wii and Xbox parts. We still got those bundles to go out, some of them anyway. And as always, we're looking for retro games. And to find retro, well, I'm going to say at this point anything earlier than 1998. But we always hope we find that. We always hope we're adding those to the collection. I'm kind of in a vintage toy mood too. I don't know. So let's just say we hope we find some vintage toys today.
While it may be in the 30s this morning, it is clear. So I know we're going to find games today. I know there's going to be some stuff to look at. We got some Xbox One games here, and a couple other types also sealed, but nothing real exciting, and these are usually overpriced because they're new.
How much you getting on these games here?
$10 each.
Whew.
No way on $10. There's just, it's not here. These aren't even really cool games, all right? And you know what? They probably paid $5 a piece for these in a bargain bin somewhere. And you know how you tell? You just go on eBay and look up that game and you'll see tons of them being sold brand new for $6 and $7. They're trying to get 10 on them, make a couple of bucks. So, you know, that's how you know. Retailers somewhere, some retailer, let loose of a bunch of pallets full of these things. And that's why they're out there.
These the only ones you got?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will certainly keep that in mind.
All right, thank you.
Hey, how about it there?
This cat right here has a ton of movies, you know, DVDs and Blu-rays and whatnot, but he's got a separate box set to the side of games. Probably nothing amazing, but I still need to thumb through them. Some NASCAR, Dance Dance Revolution, assorted pieces of sports cheese, but I get all the way to the back, and sure enough, there's a Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 for the PlayStation 2 here, and it's in fantastic condition. Opening it up and it's complete. That's what you want to see. Tony Hawk games have remained saleable throughout their lifespan. They just have. But, you know, here recently, since the Pro Skater reboot, we've seen a little bump in what these things could bring, especially GameCube copies if you find them out there. But this is a PS2 one. It's in good shape. These games are always fun. And I'm not even really into this type of game so much, but you got the stunts, and you got the blood, and you got all the action that goes on in them. And they're just fun to play, whether you're hardcore into them or just casually taking a look.
How much you take for this right here, my man?
$1.
You got it.
$1. $1 games. That's my jam. You know, probably not a keeper for me, but again, these games are hot. It's going to be a quick turnaround.
What you getting on this little guy?
Well, here's our toys. Dagedars, sealed in the pack, okay? And no, it's not a box of Generation 1 Transformers, I'm aware of that. But these were actually on my list. I've been looking for these. Almost forgot I was looking for them. For a couple reasons, actually. And we're going to talk about that. Now, what is a Dagedar? Dagedars were a toy in ball form from about a decade ago, and they failed. They failed because they were late to the party. You hear me use that term, that phrase a lot. They were trying to compete directly with Beyblade and Bakugan, and they tried to compete with both, with elements of both, and they just failed to do it. It just didn't work out for them. But they were around just long enough to get themselves a DS game. That's right. So it's hard to say it was a complete failure when they got themselves a Nintendo game. That's pretty cool. And again, these tie in to a small mini series I'm going to be doing on the show down the line. So again, a couple reasons why I want this. All right.
Can I give you $1 for it?
Yeah, go ahead. How many you want?
So we're at $1, but he's got more of them.
All right.
4 for 3, and I got a sack here. I'll put them in.
Okay. All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So we settle on $4 for 3 brand new sets of Dagedars. I'm fine with that. You know, again, these are cheap, and I'm doing a no look on them. I have no idea what they're worth in the market right now, but I just want them. I get to the next table and there's some games here, but unfortunately it's all overpriced. I mean, if this was another, deal where it was $1 a head, I'd probably just grab them all and walk, but it's not. There's individual prices on these, and the seller's not even at the table, which is a pet peeve of mine. I mean, just like nowhere in sight. There's nobody I can ask about these, so probably just gonna walk off and leave these here. But I will say, at least there's games. There's games today. There's stuff to look at, and that's what always makes the adventure, win or lose, fun. We got stuff to look at and there's stuff to talk about. So I'm back at a reseller's table that I visited last episode, and I was looking for nunchucks for the Wii bundles I'm working on, but I gotta admit, I kind of slipped here. I had tunnel vision on those nunchucks and passed right over a set of PlayStation Move controllers, and I saw them there. I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't see them there, but it didn't occur to me that I should be making a move on those. We know the Move controllers are expensive. What are these going for? How much you getting on these, my man?
That's $5. I mean, no, those that was. This one's with that one, can do $20 for the base.
Oh, for these and the base?
Yeah.
Okay. $20 isn't awful, honestly, not for what these are worth, and these are in really good condition. But I want to go ahead and take my time and look around. Guys got a lot of stuff today. Maybe I can bundle something else with this. His retro stuff is always pretty high because he knows what it is, he knows what he's got, and that's fine. But I see a game here that I have been looking for on the cheap. We're talking about The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. And this copy is in great condition. Now, I love The Walking Dead, but I remember when this game came out, and I was still working for GameStop at the time, and oh my god, this game came back in piles. I mean, a lot of people bought it, but nobody liked it. And I was just really blown away by that. And the game kind of stayed expensive for a while. I mean, not expensive, but in the $16, $17 range. Too much for me to want to pick up, knowing that it got such bad reviews. But how bad could this honestly be, right? We're talking about a first-person prequel to the main story, with Merle and Daryl. I mean, that's got to be pretty cool, right? I always just wanted to see how it was for myself. And knowing that the game has some survival elements and some scavenging and stuff, I don't know. I just think there's a good time to be had here. If we can bundle this in, I'm gonna do it. I'm interested in these, but not so much the base for it. Would you take 20 for these?
I mean, really, I just do 20. I was gonna throw the base for you, but this, I mean, give me $23 for. It's a good price for this.
How about 22?
All right, let's do it.
All right,
Maybe
I'll
give
do
me
it.
a bag from there.
I got
So
a
you
sack
got
right here,
one
man.
back?
Yeah, we'll save a plastic tree. $22 is a good spot to be on these. We're definitely going to make money on the controllers, and I'm getting a game that I do actually want. The Walking Dead Survival Instinct in good condition, and it's not going to cost us anything to hold on to it. There we go.
All right, thanks.
You bet, man. I appreciate it.
I also have a Wii. But the controller and the thing don't match. I have the Wii is wide. The other one is black.
How much you asking on it? Okay, I'm listening. We've had a lot of luck on Wii's lately, whether they were missing parts or not. I mean, the Wii's are selling right now. They just are. And, $35 is a little more than I want to pay for a Wii. I'm usually around the $20, $25 range, but I don't know. Let's have a look at it. Oh, okay.
Pues a veces aquí tratamos de empezar, pero no podemos avanzarle.
So all the parts are here, and the Wii mode is actually a Motion Plus one, so that's nice. But it's missing that top cover that goes over the GameCube controller port, so I gotta knock off a little bit for that, but those are cheap to get, you know, aftermarket. We can get this thing looking good again. I do want to grab this console.
Well, it's missing the cover here, but I would give you 30 for it if you want.
I think I have the cover. Look on the, but you know, just give me 30 without the cover.
All right, you got it.
So 30 bucks is good. I think we can make money on it. All the parts are here except that cover piece. We can get that cheap. And again, the Wiimote is the Motion Plus. That's a little more desirable. And hey, he's throwing in the University of Tennessee quilted tote bag, which, okay, well, for fun, we may just throw that on eBay by itself. Let people bid on it and see if anybody wants that for a couple of bucks. I definitely have no need for a Tennessee bag because, well, around these parts, this is bulldog country. So here's another reseller table, and this guy usually will not budge, but he does, you know, get a lot of new stuff in time to time, so I like to check him out. And sometimes he'll work with you a little bit. He doesn't individually price. More so he just categorizes. $5 for this type of game, $6, you know, that kind of thing.
Has been heroes. How you doing today, man? It is cold. God almighty. It wasn't supposed to be like this. How much you doing on your PS3 games?
$5.
Fine.
There's a Lord of the Rings Conquest here, and this game is consistently expensive. You know, during my time at GameStop, the Lord of the Rings games were always 30 and 40 bucks. And I mean, they must be great. I don't know. I never had a chance to play any of them because I was never going to pay that much for them. And I always sold them when I would get them. I can't recall ever having this one though. Again, these all look like my type of games, but they're just too expensive to want to buy in on at any given time. You got Conquest, and what was the other one? War in the North. I don't know, in the Middle Earth one. But yeah, here this is, and he's only at $5 for it, and it's in decent shape. It's a little faded on the box art, but I mean, that happens with these, unfortunately. I think I'm going to take a shot on this one.
I'm gonna do that. How much you gotta have for these?
Just 6.
6. I know I don't have that one.
So $6 for a Ghost Recon Wildlands. And why is that intriguing? A couple of reasons. I've been getting into Ghost Recon Breakpoint lately. And, you know, that game was not what they said it was going to be, in my opinion. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting it to be. But the whole looter-shooter aspect of it and a decent campaign has kind of sucked me in. And it's made me reconsider Wildlands. We covered Wildlands on the show when it was first announced. We did the beta. And it just didn't take for me. It wasn't a Tom Clancy game. It didn't have sticky cover. It just felt weird. It handled like Defiance. And, you know, I love Defiance. But it wasn't right for this application, not for a stealth game. And I just immediately was turned off, and I never looked at it again. But again, the looter-shooter aspect of these, there is a good time to be had here. And since I've been getting into Breakpoint, I've really considered giving this one a go. Again, but you know, up till here recently, it's still been like a $30 game. And I just didn't want to put that kind of money into it. I gotta check the current pricing on this game as far as the pre-owned market, but if the price is right, I could see bundling these two together.
This one's a little rough around the edges, but I'd take a shot on it. Would you do 8 for the pair of them?
No.
What's your best on these?
Give me 10.
10? Alright, I'll do 10.
So not the prettiest copy of Wildlands I've ever seen, but it's decent. And, yeah, I'm at 8 on these two. He was at 11. We're going to meet there at 10. Not exactly the middle, but we'll take it. $10 for the two of these. That's a fair price. So all in all, not a bad day. I mean, it wasn't bags and bags of stuff. It wasn't the biggest haul we've ever walked away with, but it was cool stuff. And it checks the two biggest boxes I think that you want to check in a given day. One, that you're getting things that you're going to make money on, and two, that you're getting things that you actually want, which is fantastic. Got some cool stuff today. We got a couple of games that are somewhat valuable and will definitely sell quickly. Going to make for a quick turnaround. And I got a couple of games that I do want. Again, we got a Wii console. You know, we're definitely looking for consoles as hot as they are in the market right now. So definitely glad to add that into the pile. We got some toys. Toys are always cool to look at. Again, there's going to be more details on these as we go. It's something for later on in the series. Keepers from this lot obviously are The Walking Dead Survival Instinct, a game that I've really wanted to try for a long time. And we got Ghost Recon Wildlands, a game that I have looked at, but I want to get back into. I want to give a second chance to. I want to see if I can have some fun with this game, and I'm actually looking forward to it. Again, with the fun I've had with Breakpoint, I think there is a good game in here somewhere. And, you know, maybe me in this game just got off on the wrong foot. I don't like change for the sake of change. This was different. It just threw me for a curveball that I didn't like. So the Wii we got today is decent looking. I got it hooked up now with the parts that it came with. Upon closer inspection, I look in there and I see that there is an SD card in the slot. So that means there's games on this thing. I don't know if there's games in this thing. Now the guy said he tested it, right? Surely he checked that, but I mean, they all say they test them. So, you know, who knows what we're gonna find in this Wii. We're gonna check it out right now. Here goes nothing. Let's hit the eject button. Alright, nobody's home. I didn't think there would be. Now we're going to get batteries in this Wiimote, and we are going to see if this was the Wiimote that came with this system, because if it was, it should already be paired. Alright, and there you have it. It is synced and ready to go. The $1 million question is, what's on this SD card? It looks like a big bag of nothing. Reading discs, so that's good. Time to format, so it's ready for a new owner. The SD card was actually a Wii branded SD card from back in the day. Probably not worth anything now, and probably not worth using for anything either, but kind of cool from a throwback perspective, I guess. The Wii branded SD cards are actually bringing between $12 and $15 on average right now, meaning that if sold after fees and shipping, this adds another $10 into today's profit valuation. Man, I'm tired of making money and getting free games. Now, I mean, you know, anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. A lot of you that watch the show probably do it. You probably do hunt for games. And if you don't, and you've thought about maybe getting into it, look around your area. See where there's markets. See where there's neighborhood yard sales. Go out and see what you can find. The stuff is out there. You can really build a collection for nothing. You can get paid to build a collection. This is how you do it. I mean, yeah, you can go buy what you want. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. But it's fun to see what you can make out of nothing sometimes. And, well, we got a lot going on here, and we're having a great time doing it. Having a great time on these adventures, just like I do every year, and I love sharing them with you. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing here. I'm going to leave me a comment in the comment section about what you saw here today. Let me know what you think about what you saw here today, because you know that I love getting a conversation going with you right here on the Emceemur Show. Something that we do a lot of. Again, I hope you're going to drop a like on this video, and I hope that you did like this video. Most importantly, if you have not already done so, I hope you're going to subscribe to the Emceemur Show and be a part of our nation, because we're rising up all the fantastic things we do right here on the show. You need to be a part of our. Make sure that you smack that notification bell. You're always the first to know when new content goes live. Content like these adventures right here, because you know there's lots of them to come. It is starting to warm up. The real season's just about to hit. So, I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We've already done so much. So, man, I can only imagine what the rest of this year and years beyond have in store for us right here on the show. Emceemur signing off for this fantabulous episode. Now we'll see each and every one of you again next time.